What's up, everybody? This is a RU battle with Cory, someone I recently met, and it was a really great batch. The problem is that it takes forever; it's like 20 minutes long, so I had to fast forward it times two. But yeah, it was a really great match. And as usual, if you like these videos, click like, subscribe, share all that good stuff, and I appreciate it. So he leads off with his Decidueye, and I start off with my Rotom because looking at his team, Rotom is a pretty good check to a lot of stuff that he has, since he carries a lot of physical attackers. So it's a safe play to just go straight for the Will-O-Wisp here instead of just Volt switching out, because he could stay in and hit me like he does now. And he tries to lock me in. I guess he thought he could do a lot of damage and pretty much just lock me in and take me out, but he couldn't. So I'm just gonna Volt switch out here because I know he's gonna want to switch out, not doing less damage. I mean, having been doing less damage now because of Will-O-Wisp, he'll want to be forced to switch out. So he goes into Florist for the obvious aromatherapy because he's gotta save that Decidueye because it's really important. It was far more important than I thought it was in the game during. And now that I finished reviewing the game, now I see that it was a really important Pokemon for him. So that Wisp was really hazardous for him. So I'm just gonna go into my Ludicolo because I wasn't expecting him to have the Calm Mind, to be honest, even though I should have expected it to have it. So I usually just go for the substitute with this Ludicolo because it's a safe play, it's a strong Pokemon to have behind the sub, and it can do a lot. So yeah, my goal here was just to basically just use Hydro Pump over and over and over. And luckily I was hitting them, and then use my Water Z to knock it out. But the problem is that I kind of already knew it wasn't gonna knock out, so it was like a failed attempt. But you never know, could get a crit here and there or something, make it work. But no, this thing's hella bulky, so it's able to live. So I'm forced to switch out into Golbat, which is what I should have done to begin with, because I'm able to take all these hits like nothing, even though he gets a special attack drop on me, which doesn't really matter because I don't even need that. But yeah, now I just proceed to Toxic everything and Super Fang everything, because that's the whole point of this set, to basically nerf hits, take hits, and then do what it does best and stall, which is really nice. I urge everybody to get a Golbat. It's really great. So I know that having a Mega Ampharos, having an Ampharos here is going to be a Mega Ampharos, so I'm going to want to switch out. But I was fearing the Rock move in case, because he could hit me with a safe Rock move and hit anything neutral or super effective except for the Side Guard. But he goes for the Volt Switch, which is a great play. Technically, I should have predicted that and gone to Side Guard at that point, but it's better not to, because, even with all the runaround, it was worth it the way I did it. But yeah, he just goes into his Florges to heal up whatever was poisoned and switch out again and go back into his Umbreon, which I'm thankful this thing doesn't have heal though, because if it had, I would have been having to fish between this and the Florges, and that would have been in extreme pain, more than it was right now throughout the whole match. So yeah, here I'm just safely going for Toxics and Super Fangs because, to be honest, like 1v1, the Golbat can go up against a lot of things, and it shows it here with just roosting away all the damage, as well as racking up damage with Toxic and Super Fang. So here I'm in the best position that I can be. I just stay inside. There's no reason for me to switch out. And he switches out this turn and goes into his Milotic, but I believe I Super Fang here. Yeah, see, just racking up more damage on anything that comes in. Man, this thing's such a tank. And of course, I'm just gonna Toxic this turn too, because the more I rack up, the better. I should have predicted Milotic coming in this turn and then Toxic that like that. But even getting the Super Fang off and then, missing one turn of Toxic, racks up every now and then. But even still, like, this Golbat's hanging on and hanging strong. And I didn't notice, during the match, I didn't notice that this thing had recovered, to be honest. So I was wondering how it got the HP up. And it can have recovered, that's how it can recover, but like, it's HP. But I didn't know it during the match. And then later on too, I was thinking oh, so that's how he got it. So here I'm predicting the Spirit Shackle, an obvious move, but he goes for a Z move, and I switch into my X-Flat, which is great, because now that we both wasted our Z moves, it's gonna be a pretty close match. Like that would have been the thing to speed up the match, like had he gotten a KO on me, or me with my Z move. But this is why the match is going so why it's so long. So yeah, here I'm just gonna predict the Milotic coming in. I'm not gonna go over here because it's such an obvious play to go to. So, and the Volt Switch is safe, and I can go into Necrozma. And I know he's gonna want to switch out here, so I'm just gonna go into the knockoff, the safest play that I can do. Knock off any item that comes in, can take away the leftovers off of anything that he has. And he goes into his Umbreon, which is great because this thing without leftovers is the greatest thing ever. The greatest hinders it can get, since it doesn't have any other forms of recovery except for Wish. So here more damage is racked up. Gotta tank the hit. I'm not gonna want to take a hit on Necrozma because Necrozma being at max HP was really crucial in this match. So yeah, I'm just like switching and twitching over and over with Golbat and making great plays right here. Oh yeah, I predict the Thunderbolt here. I'm not gonna want to take I could have honestly predicted the Dragon Pulse there and could have taken a hit, but you know, it was worth it in the long run because I'm able to get my 1,000 arrows up. And I'm choice banded, so it's gonna be a 2-hit KO on that Florges, which is nice because he just aromatherapies. He believes that's the great play that he should do, and to be honest, it is. But you know, I'm just gonna do it all over again because once I get rid of this thing, which I do now, my problem is pretty much solved, and I just pretty much take over from here. I'm not gonna want to switch here because I know he's gonna want to either Shell Smash or knock me out. If he knocks me out, I knock him out next turn. But if he Shell Smashes, I get a hit in, then I can sack something next turn, and I'm just gonna go back into my Ludicolo because that's the Pokemon that I feel at this point isn't gonna do the most damage. Even Exploit I believe would do more damage right now. But yeah, so I sack my Ludicolo. I go back into my Zygarde because I've been dealing with Cloisters, and this is how I feel I should deal with them. And I go for the extreme speed, but I don't knock it out. So now I'm thinking, okay, I gotta go recheck that strategy because this is how I was planning to deal with Cloisters all the time. But now that I can't, it seems that I gotta work around that. But yeah, so I should have just gone to Necrozma from the very beginning after the Shell Smash. And I could have taken all these Icicle Spears because it literally just takes the 5 to knock him out. But since I have the Berry, it's gonna take 6 or 7. But yeah, I'm able to knock it off because that's the safest play in case you were to switch out into anything. I'm able to knock off an item. But he goes back into this thing and he goes for Sucker Punch, which I honestly didn't think about because I just wanted to switch out into Golbat to save my Necrozma, but he goes for the Sucker Punch, and then that's the safest play I could have done and the safest switch. So I'm just gonna toxic everything again because there's no point in not doing that because he's gonna rack up damage. He can't KO me. He needs like crits on top of crits to KO me. And then everything that he has can't heal off a toxic, so, and he can't even really do damage to me. I'm just like, look at that. That's probably like a 5th or a 4th. Yeah, I'm just gonna go straight for more toxics in case he feels like switching. Like right now, I should have gone for toxic again, but I believe I just go for the roost to get max HP in case anything that gets a crate eventually or something, you know, best to be in that position. So yeah, now I think I should have just gone for the toxic there, to be honest, instead of just gone for the Super Fan. But to be honest, I also thought that he could, like, I was thinking he was gonna want to exhaust all my toxics I had left over because at this point I think I only had like 3 or 4 or 5 toxics remaining. So yeah, it was great. It would have been great for him to have like been fishing out my toxics while I tried to toxic the rest of his team, and had he done that, he would have still had a chance of beating me, to be honest. But he didn't do that, so I'm over here still racking up damage, roosting away everything. And oh, I set up a Tailwind as well because in case he's able to get a KO on Golbat or freeze me, I'm able to just switch out into say X-Cloud or something, and then I'll have the enough speed invested in it to be able to KO everything, which is really great. Look at that, easy damage from the Ice Beam. I take like 15 HP from that. That's crazy. That thing is hella bulky. So now I take down my low tech, and now it's straight to his remaining 2, which is just the Umbreon and the Decidueye. But yeah, at this point in the match, I was already asking him, hey yo, does this thing already have Heal Bell or not? And then he's like, nah. So it was pretty much good game, you know, like at this point, because he really couldn't do anything to me. Foul plays aren't doing enough, and he can't poison me or anything like that, which is really great because like he can't outstyle me. So yeah, I just set up Tailwinds, more Tailwinds in case anything happens. And, you know, I'm always in that safe spot. So yeah, great game, Cory. Like, drawn out match, but, you know, this is one of the badass ones. And, you know, right here, I could have just, like, Super Fang him the previous turn instead of Tailwinding. So I could have knocked out the Umbreon, but having the Tailwind set up, I'm faster than anything than this thing, because I think he outspeeds my whole team, or even still. he could KO my team with just the Decidueye. But since I'm faster now, I have X-Cloud. He should have gone for Sucker Punch, to be honest. I'm able to get Flamethrower and KO it. But yeah, great match, man. You know, hit me up again if you want to rematch.